Всем привет, с вами снова Кокос, и мы продолжаем проходить игру Вампир. Так, записка доктора Суонси. Джонатан, я попросил сестру Крейн подготовить для вас кабинет на втором этаже. К сожалению, не могу вас проводить, мне нужно немного поспать перед работой. Я всего лишь простой смертный. Заранее прошу прощения за скромную обстановку. Пемброкская больница далеко не Риц. Я распорядился, чтобы к вам никто никогда не входил, поэтому спокойно спите днем и работайте по ночам, если вам угодно. Здесь нет лаборатории, но вы сможете проводить эксперименты у себя. Кроме того, в кабинете есть окно, а за ним строительные леса, которые позволят вам незаметно уходить и возвращаться. Должно быть, сейчас вам все кажется непривычным и пугающим. Я долго изучал представителей вашего вида и понимаю, что вы сейчас чувствуете. Можете рассчитывать на мою помощь. Я рад, что познакомился с вами в это тяжелое время. Надеюсь, наше сотрудничество принесет блестящие результаты. Добро пожаловать в Пемброкскую больницу, уважаемый коллега. Скоро мы еще побеседуем. Искренне ваш Эдгар Гриффит Суонси. Прикладываю копии своих записок о том, что я узнал об законах за последние годы. Прочитайте их, только не используйте эти знания против меня. Хорошо. А где они? Приложуха, да, типа? Так, ну что, пойдем до того, как начнем, так сказать, спать ложиться. Давайте попробуем пообщаться тут с местными.
I cannot enter.
Ух ты, старая пила. Карта пациента Т.Элвуда. Выздоравливает. О, блин, надо все читать. Так, это у нас уже наверх, еще выше этажом. Так, значит, давайте сначала второй этаж пройдем. Что-то здесь народу не особо много. Суонси не хочет нас видеть. Так, ну что, я походу пробежал уже весь второй этаж. Сейчас попробуем посмотреть, что на третьем. А вот ничего на третьем, там закрытая дверь. Здесь также. Интересно, кровь у меня уходит. Кстати, по поводу моего кабинета. Там сказали, за окном леса. Пока не могу. Может, там расчистить путь или что? Надо запалить. То есть уходит ли кровь просто когда я, то есть, ну, бегаю, там чем-то занимаюсь. Так, ты у нас кто? Пациентка?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reid, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Вы вампир?
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Как вы себя чувствуете?
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
R. У меня 1, у нее 2. Понятно.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal.
В ответе за то, что случилось с ним на войне. Социальный слой. А что значит социальный слой? Типа муж и жена? Нет.
You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Воу, воу, давай потише. Так, медосмотр.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the only drug I need.
Так. Стоп.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything.
Понятно.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Расскажите о своих врагах.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Ого. Мы с вас позаботимся. И вас вылечим. И вас вылечим.
To care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Новое расследование. Откройте меню расследования. Расследование, которое вам доверяют граждане, рассортированы по районам. Чтобы приступить к заданию, выберите его, нажав после этого на карте, отобразится область, которую нужно исследовать. Выяснить, кто шпионит за Дельмой. Кто ты на самом
Who are
деле?
you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Так, дальше у нас там подсказки, да, нужны?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your
Королева
nocturnal
тьмы.
activities.
Привет. Так, Бирмингем, привет, сестренка. Здесь не очень хорошо, похоже. А это от кого? Сапоги, слишком часто откладывая патрули. Любящая тебя сестра Люси. Пол, мама и папа. Пиппа Хокинс.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Подробнее. Ух ты, у нее аж 3. Жизнь в Лондоне. Как здесь обстоят дела?
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Так, как справляется?
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially
Водитель скорой?
concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Угу.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Так. Дайте мне посмотреть. Пипа собирается уволиться из Пемброкской больницы.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Ой-ой. Промахнулся, да? Ладно. Так. Здесь у нас не хватает подсказки. Хотите уйти из больницы?
Are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things
Блин, надо
change.
сначала эти запускать.
You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents hope for many people in need of help.
Maybe you're right. But at the moment, I feel like we're just a cemetery waiting room.
Чувствовала? Я изменил это, что ли? Так. Надо сначала задавать личные вопросы, а потом уже переходить к другим. Так, стоп.
It's locked.
А как открывать? Сказали бы. Так, надо водителя скорой найти, Милтона, с ним пообщаться.
It's locked, all right.
Закрыто, закрыто. Так. Здесь у нас что, дворик? Нет, не дворик, это уже улица. Хорошо. Книжка? Наук?
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Этот город нуждается в тебе. Вовремя получивший медицинскую помощь, это удар самой сердца эпидемии. Требуется волонтеры. Обращайтесь в ближайшую... Ой, стой, впустите меня!
It's locked, all right.
I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife.
I cannot enter.
Любовь моя, наконец-то мне удалось собрать деньги, которые водитель автомашины просит за доставку в больницу. Ни о чем не беспокойся, я обо всем... Ага, Милтон забирает бабки, да? Просто выздоравливай. Соседи говорят, что это мистер Хукс, честный жулик. Он может попросить денег за койку, но зато Тогда эта койка будет тебе точно гарантирована. Надо было бы сразу ему заплатить. Теперь я понимаю, что самое главное — это твое выздоровление. Говорят, что Пембрукская больница — хорошее место, несмотря на то, что там работает этот Милтон Хукс. Теперь все в порядке, уверяю тебя. Скоро ты будешь лежать в чистой постели, и я приду тебя навестить. С любовью, Николай. Это вот и есть скорая, да, помощь? Машина скорой помощи. Так, а где я уже пробежал, а где еще нет? Блин, тут нехило так можно запутаться. Не кашляйте в общественных местах. Хорошо. Так, вот тут я как раз проходил. Стоп, а там что? 45 метров наверху.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reid? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Знаменитые дилетанты.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Так, в отношении ко мне.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reid, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reid. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired
Не
of the
заладилось у нас
carelessness
с ним,
around
но
me.
не заладилось.
I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Не одобряет современных методов. Окей. Все?
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Что у нас тут? Нет? Мне показалось, что сверкает, да? Так это у нас правое крыло получается.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Дороти. Стоп. Дороти? А, Дороти Крейн. Всё, я понял. Мы с тобой уже общались. Так, а ты у нас
Good
кто?
evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of
Ну
your
ладно,
work, Dr.
все-таки есть тут люди, которые понимают смысл медицины.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Личные вопросы. Понятно.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Не тебе уже не смешно, а теперь, наверное. Так, ну-ка.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you
Ни один из экспериментов Тора с переливанием крови пока не был
may
успешным.
remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Буду рад помочь.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Ой. Так, ну и давай.
What do you
Aykroyd.
think of Dr. Aykroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Aykroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Aykroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Значит, он просто завидует. А вот я вот этого не знал, видите, да? О технике.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly.
I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
А что с историей?
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Фидик. Вини себя за свою травму.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Так, тут тоже закончили. В личных вопросах вот остались еще по подсказкам.
Goodbye, Dr.
До
Strickland.
свидания, доктор Стрикленд. С вами еще увидимся. Так. Это у нас Крейн.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Да, Дороти Крейн.
But in circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
О, а ты кто?
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reid? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Да легко. Так, задать личные вопросы. Нету подсказок. Как вас здесь приняли?
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Сомневаться в эффективности.
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Так, что думаете о
Tell me
больнице?
more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Да ладно. Хукс и Хокинс, они что ли оба? Походу, да.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Так, расскажите о
What
себе.
can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Вы настолько
Are
богаты?
you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Типа движение феминисток или что-то в этом роде? Так, интересоваться. Было. Здесь новое ничего не появилось. Попрощаться.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Так. И что с ним не так?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Блин, круто так вот ставить диагнозы.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat?
So painful I'd rather not.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
How painful.
So painful.
I'll let you get some rest then.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Что с ним не так?
Good evening, Doctor.
Так, ладно.
Goodbye, Mrs.
Тогда на этом серию мы заканчиваем. Всем спасибо за просмотр, надеюсь, вам понравилось. Ставьте лайки, комментируйте, подписывайтесь на канал, мне будет очень приятно. И до новых встреч в новых видео. Пока-пока.